black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Come around to the front, come around to the front. When black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! Black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! When black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! When black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! When black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! When black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! We said stop the war! On Black America! 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 All right, mic check. I want everyone to take a moment, be attentive to your body. Water. You need to breathe. I know it's a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, a lot of movement. Take care of yourself. There's food and water available. We'll bring it from the truck.
Negative, not in this call.
We're going to set up
Scan through the hair unit call.
members and community leaders. So just give us a moment to do that.
It doesn't even say that here in your call.
Yeah, listen to your body.
The only description I was given was a white Honda Civic, no plate. I guess the call is trying to get the plate now. Okay. Just a little more on the hair units. We're trying to get more, but they had a domestic in Dorchester involving a knife with the suspect, the boyfriend, the girlfriend with the knife, and the female victim wasn't there. The officers got there, and the boyfriend had blood on his hands.
I'm going into the hospital now.
Okay. Go ahead.
Hey, just so you have it, it's a female from that incident, trauma room 2 right now.
Which room you said? In the shower room? I haven't. I'll let them know.
was just like, what the fuck did I get myself into? Oh my god. And then I realized how long it was. Like, I didn't come over that quick. I was so like, how many? But this is a lot. Yeah. And once all of y'all came over. Yeah. It was actually bugging me. And then the time they would be like going fast enough. I was just angry. I was just moving.
Like, you gotta realize, bro, that's a decision that affects everybody around you. Oh, yeah, glasses.
I got new ones.
Yeah, actually.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? Not too bad.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! All right, everybody, we're about to get started. If people can sort of come around here, the person's going to be standing right here, so if people want to kind of slide in from the side, so we can get ready and get started. Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Fuck these racist ass police! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Fuck these racist ass police! Brick by brick! Wall by wall! This racist system got to fall! Said brick by brick! Wall by wall! This racist system got to fall! Said brick by brick! Wall by wall! Said brick by brick! Wall by wall! Said brick by brick! Wall by wall! This racist system got to fall! Hey! Right now.
Okay, so we're just going to take a moment to hear from some local community folks, community organizers. Again, check that list on the quarter sheet. We don't have one else. Just different words that we learn more about. But first we're going to, Kelvin's holding it up. We're going to hear from Rock with mass action against police brutality.
Indict, convict, send those killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send those killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Say the whole damn system is guilty as hell. What up, everyone? Thank you very much. I want to salute the brothers who organized this, Corbin and Kelvin, and all the students who came out and everyone else to support. I salute y'all for taking a stand. We are just days away from the verdict of the Chauvin trial. And, the world's been watching this trial, and I'm sure many of us have as well. And some of us, as we saw the trial unfold, might have got the idea that maybe they're trying to set up Chauvin to be the one bad apple of America. Talk about it. And
before they could, now we never know because this is, you know, the United States. We still don't know what the verdict's going to be. But if that was their tactic, basically put us back to sleep and, you know, forget about the pandemic of police brutality and racism, you know, it didn't go according to plan because they couldn't help themselves. They had to kill somebody else in Brooklyn Center, Daunte Wright, while we all out here today. So now they woke us back up just a little bit, because we're not out here in our 30 million. But that's the question. That's the question that they're trying to figure out. Where are the 30 million? You know, will they stay in their cubicles? You know, and mass action, we have the strong belief that we've only begun to march. Actually, the 30 million that we saw take the streets in the summer months of last year. We know that there's tens and tens of millions more that also were watching, thinking about taking the streets. And we know that if we keep fighting, we will win the majority to our side, and we will organize and mobilize in our tens and hundreds of millions if necessary. We're here to make history, and that's what we're witnessing right now. Sometimes when you're in the middle of history, you don't really understand what's going on until you look backwards. You know, some of us have been active for a very long time, and I'm just here to tell you the last 6.5 years are historical. You know, there's never been a time like this in generations where people have been taking the streets in sustained protests. So anyways, we need to embrace that, and basically we all need to stand up and be counted, but also we all need to show out with our best selves towards a historical cause that's, you know, is, you know, at the heart of everything. So, anyways, I just want to say that mass action has been working with a lot of families here in the city and across the country to help center their demands at the heart of this fight, because the fact is, you know, we wouldn't even be out here if they didn't do what they did to Daunte Wright, you know. This movement has been watered by the blood of the victims of these families. And we need to honor that and center that, not just in a sentimental or moral way, but it's actually at the heart of this fight politically. When we defend these families, we're not just defending the rights of individual families, a few select people in the population of 300 million, but we're upholding and defending the rights of all of us. So justice for the families is justice for all, because you know, we can't live in a country where the government can murder you and cover it up. You can't recognize, you can't accept that as your own government. So we got a problem here in America. And that's part of the question that's being decided. The whole system of policing is on trial. So anyways, we plan to respond when the verdict hits. So we'll probably be announcing shortly some kind of emergency response. But we know, before even knowing what the trial's outcome is, what we're going to say. And we're going to say what we all know, that this was never about one cop. This was never about George Floyd in one case. This is about something that's happening all over the country every day. I mean, even in the short few months where, you know, everyone's attention was on other things like the election and other questions, they've been steady killing folks. And actually, people have been protesting whether or not, you know, it just hasn't been national, just local fights. There's big fights in Virginia right now around Xavier Hill, a young man who was killed. You know, Angelo Quinto in California just happened. Now we have Adam Toledo. Before we can even write a banner for him, you know, there's another outrage. So basically, we're back to where we started, or we're getting there. Maybe, I think we all can sense it. We're on the verge of another, you know, time where millions are going to take the streets again. So anyways, we think that we need to keep the pressure on. We need to stay out on the streets, regardless of the outcome. Now, if they're crazy enough not to indict Shaw, hey, all bets are off in this country. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But they are working overtime. They're working on the Daunte Wright family right now. I mean, I can tell you directly because we're working with the families in Minneapolis. There's a whole movement of families. That's part of the problem that they couldn't sell this story, because they couldn't even do the press conference with Ben Crump leading it, because there's already a movement of families there saying, yo, this happened to me, me, and me, and me. There's like literally several dozen families who have been trying to point out that it's not just George Floyd in the state of Minnesota. They've killed, in the last 20 years, 500 people in the state of Minnesota, police have. So it is a pandemic of police brutality. And right here, we did an emergency press conference. Some of you might have been there in front of the State House. And we've been stressing these two main demands that all families across the country are demanding. What do you think those two demands are? Very good, yeah. It may not be the main demands you hear at a lot of the protests or that some organizations are pushing, but the main demands that the families want, if you didn't know, they're two simple demands. They want justice, prosecution of the police. They want the killers of their loved ones in jail. In jail. And let me say, I'm opposed to the prison system, and I know a big part of the impetus of the demand around abolition is around people who oppose that. But if you oppose the jailing of police, you need to come out and say it. Say it to the public. Own it. Because that's not what the families want, and I don't think that's what the majority of the people want. We want justice. We want justice now. And the other demand is reopen all the cases. Now, you understand how big a demand is when you understand how many cases there are. There's thousands of cases. That's something they don't want to do. But just because we kept the drumbeat going, they're forced to even now have to discuss it. Some of you might have missed it, but Kim Janey was on MSNBC last night or the night before that. She had to field questions about, whether she would support the reopening of the case of Terrence Coleman and the reopening of the case of Bo Ramsey White, two of the mothers that came and spoke at the press conference. So anyways, we're getting them now into the defensive, where they're going to have to explain why they won't reopen the case. So anyways, the families are forming a united front, and I think it's beholden on all of us protesters, all organizations, to back these families as they go on a course for justice, not only for them, but justice for all, to reopen all the cases, and they're committed to do this until we win. They're going to stay out as long as it takes. How long?
Till we win!
How long?
Till we win!
All right, so I'm just going to wrap up. I just want to say, we call it a demonstration, but this demonstration actually is a nationwide demonstration on Saturday in Dorchester. Y'all invited to come, and please bring a friend or two. But basically, it's family-led. There's families have called demonstrations in at least 10 other states. We got some going in Georgia, some in Florida, something in Cincinnati, Baltimore, Spokane, Washington. The families are they've had enough. So they're calling it out. And beyond that, and I'll just leave you on this note, there's another national demonstration that's been called August 28th by families across the country, a march on Washington and to the Department of Justice to demand what?
Reopen the cases.
Reopen the cases. Yeah. So definitely keep that in mind, because this doesn't end with George Floyd. It doesn't end with the trial. Obviously, we're back where we started, and we need to get those 30 million back out on the streets, and the tens of millions more